What's up, and welcome to this game about tripping LSD and having dreams about your mental state being marinated in several glass jars of pickleweed, snarf gillyweed, armchair albatross. I don't know why everything is armchair albatross, but it usually tends to be some conglomeration of the above anagrams. Anyway, lactose intolerant Anakin. It is imperative that you take a sip. No, that is unfair. Good milk. The cow goes moo. He's right. That is the only Star Wars meme that my friend Thomas and I send back and forth to each other. It is kind of a good thing. It's also a pretty excellent thing. I hate these cloud enemies only because their name is so dumb. Their name is just Loud. It's Cloud without a C. That's so dumb. Why did they do it? Here in New York, we had a big thunderstorm today. I had kind of a long day, so I just wanted to rest and recuperate. And then I just heard a huge bang, kapow, whatever you want to call it, outside my window. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, we've been having some very hot days and a cool day or two in between, but I am literally sweating my eyebrows off right now. Because this freaking 80-degree weather, dude. I'm white and I can't handle all the heat and humidity. Or I don't know, whatever. I don't know if white has anything to do with liking the heat or not, but I know that we get sunburned more easily. Darn it, I shouldn't have said my race on my channel, because now you have something to picture in your head, and it's much better when you don't have anything to picture. I remember people were surprised when they found out that Qcol was white. They thought, I don't know, they thought he was black just because he said stuff like, yeah dog, that's what's up dog. You know, I don't know. Qcol is kind of amazing, but unfortunately he doesn't go by Qcol anymore. He goes by Patty. These clouds in the background are so pretty, by the way. They really look like something out of an RPG, like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI or something. Final Fantasy 12 or something. This game, I just got really lucky with it, so I was very happy about this. Alright, the last one, it's gonna be super quick, so it's oh, you have to count them all correctly, and I was oh no! And I was oh, thank God, it picked the only one that I actually paid attention to. Wow. So I'm very happy about getting that one on my first try, because of course every time you muck up that minigame, you have to go from the beginning of the level. This part is just annoying. It's an auto-scroller where clouds cover up the screen every 2 seconds. It's that's not... It looks cool, yeah, but it's covering up the enemies, and it's just it's added unfairness. I don't know, covering up the enemies on screen so I can't react to something as quickly is just artificial difficulty. Real difficulty gives you a chance to react to every situation fairly without throwing some BS in front of it and saying haha, we got you, and I don't know. Anyway. I've always loved these little things at the end of the level, by the way. The little twinkly music. Yeah. It's the part of the game that always made me feel yeah, this is really Dreamland. It's a very dreamlike game, and I don't know. The whole, checkerboard. I always had a thing for checkerboards, chess and checkers, and there's just so much symbolism and cool imagery there. But anyway, yeah, here's one of my favorite levels, the bubblegum clouds in Talfish Row Epsilon. Burglary, defense corporation, stock market, building, hashtag, copycat, hash brown, Ruby Tuesday, vanilla ice, vanilla cupcake. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Got in there. Yeah. So here's where this game turns from Kirby into Mario, because you're always like worrying about like not falling into the pit and like jumping on enemies with actual skill. And it's like Kirby goes from like being like Kirby game, which it like is a you know, a challenging game, but a pretty like low stakes game, because you can just kind of keep retrying over and over, and like if you're very careful, you'll never fall into a pit. To this like, you know, freaking precision platforming malarkey, where it's like, don't fall into the pit, don't fall into the pit. Okay, here I had like barely any health left, and I was like, oh god, how do I just make it through this? And I got really lucky. I just took the hits and took the invincibility, and fortunately there's only 3 of them. But like, if you don't come there with like a lot of health, or like, you know, if you don't just like do it, darn it, and like get through it as quickly as possible, like that's the part of the level that's gonna kill you. That's just, ugh. That's the one part of the level that's like, oh geez, why did they do this? Why did they make this so darn difficult for me? I'm just a normal Joe, and I'm just a cat lover, and like, I love cats, and Douglas. The love of a dog is eternal. That's why it's good you have pork chop. Douglas, I want you to see this watch. It's very expensive. Yeah, you remember how I was talking about how wholesome Vinny's obsession with Mr. Dink was? Well, scratch the wholesome part. He always makes Mr. Dink sound like a very creepy pedophile, and I don't know. But it's still funny. It's still funny just how obsessed Vinny is with like this character from a kids show. Especially like a popular kids show, but like not a super well-known character. I know somebody who worked on Doug as one of the animators, so. And of course, Doug is cool because it has Fred Newman, and like Between the Lions was one of my favorite shows as a kid, and also I listened to a lot of Prairie Home Companion with my parents growing up. So both of those things combined gave me a love of Fred Newman and what he does. This level is fun. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we're finishing up this LP, and it's just like getting me ready for like playing Yume Nikki and stuff, because it has all these odd like dreamlike locations, especially like this cloud castle covered in like all these arts and crafts stars, and these wizards who shoot the black web, and they make the platform, and they erase the platform, and they shoot web. Now I can shoot web and climb walls. You may know me as Spider-Man. Wow, but you may also know me as that homeless heroin addict. I need to go now, bye. Okay, apologies. More Vine Sauce quoting, except that time it was Vine Sauce Joel and his amazing Ghostbusters thing, which actually inspired me to watch Ghostbusters again. Well, actually, I was watching the Mr. Plinkett Ghostbusters 2016. Oh hey, it's your boy Weird Eye. You know, he's upside down though. So like that's the secret to this level, is like, oh, he's upside down, oh boy. Yeah, but the original Ghostbusters is such a good movie. I don't know. Harold Ramis. Yeah, oh gosh, this song sounds so annoying on twice speed. I messed it up. Yeah, it's always nice that they give you grace after messing these things up a little bit. I don't think Kirby 64 is as forgiving, but I know there's a couple of these in Kirby 64 and you're always praying like, please don't make a mistake, please don't make a mistake, I just want this block, I just want this block. And like the designs aren't even that complicated, but it's just like if you mess it up slightly, you're like, oh, I have to reset the whole thing, don't I? And it's like, and then the rest of this level is just long, so we're just gonna power through it. Ayy. Yeah, but no, I'm really like looking forward to Yume Nikki. Like I think it's going to be, I really want to play it. But it's like the kind of thing that like is, I'm hoping, my impression of it is that it's going to be something that's so psychologically impacting that like I'm just going to want to document my first ever experience with that game, and that's something that I've never really tried doing before. Like I really always like treasure my first encounter with a video game, but like, you know, I don't do a lot of blind LPs, you know. Well, I did I Spy Spooky Mansion and it was like blind LP to like, oh boy, you know, you got my very first reaction to like, oh boy, we're going through the game 3 times and doing all the same puzzles over again. This is such a great game. That was a fun game. I'm not complaining about the game. It's very much for kids and kind of dumb, but like, it's a fun game. But yeah, I don't know. Blind LPs are something that I'd like to do sometimes, but not all the time. You know, and I think that's fair. I think everybody feels that way. Oh, I'm yawning. Who would have thought that this day would come when Matisse would attack us with her analogy? Anyway, I started playing Hylix and I was like, what the hell? I have no idea what I'm doing. It's like, you can't go anywhere unless you get past this one place with like really hard enemies. And like, I still don't know like how I'm supposed to heal myself. Oh, I talked about this in the very last episode, didn't I? I was like, oh, I should probably just use the bathtub. And then I forgot about it. Well, because I wasn't playing Hylix, I was playing, I've been playing Owlboy, actually. Owlboy is a cool game. It's a beautiful game, like beautiful, like I was expecting it to be, you know, some like, you know, small indie game, but like you boot up the title screen and it's like this full orchestral soundtrack and it's like, what the heck? Yeah, really, really nice game though. It kind of, it kind of reminds me of like Skyward Sword, but with like GBA graphics. Or that kind of like GBA/PS1 kind of style graphics. Similar to like what Time Spinner did, except a little bit more high res than Time Spinner. But yeah, really sweet. It's a platformer with like some like gun stuff, and like you aim the gun with the mouse. And I have not like used my mouse in like years, so it's been like a little weird, like, oh, I have an excuse to get my mouse back out, and I'm not used to a game like involving this much like interaction with the mouse. And I don't mean like point and click, I mean like platforming and using the mouse to aim at the same time, you know. But whatever, that's Addo beaten for a second time, and we get to watch this overly dramatic cutscene of the world being purified from darkness. Yay. Just imagine those disgusting black clouds of corruption melting away. That must be so scary. Anyway. Adversaries purified. Okay, no, that's the next game I'm playing. I might do off before Kirby 64. I don't know. So that's all the heart stars. So next time we're doing some important stuff. Yeah.